going to do. I'm going to set up a party. I'm going to call it the Brexit Party. But given that it's the most Googled word in the English language, I wonder whether the Electoral Commission will allow me to use the name. Well, they have. And you are here today at the birth, at the launch of a new force in British politics. Welcome to the Brexit Party. I haven't spent 25 years of my life fighting to raise the issue of why we should be an independent, normal, self-governing country that makes its own laws, has its own courts, controls its own borders. I haven't spent 25 years of my life doing that to simply roll over and to allow a career political class to portray that result without me fighting back. Well, the fight back begins here in Coventry today. I think we have a parliament that is now completely out of touch with our country. I think politics is broken. And I want to say this. This party is not here just to fight the European elections on the 23rd of May this year. This party is not here to ask people simply to express their anger by going to the ballot box and voting for us on that day. No, no. The 23rd of May is the first step of the Brexit Party. Our task and our mission is to change politics for good, to change all aspects of politics in this country. I did say that if I ever had to come back into the political fray, next time, it'd be no more Mr. Nice Guy. And I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. Yes, I'm angry about what's happened. I know lots of people out there are angry. But this is not, as I say, a negative emotion. This is a positive emotion. We're going to use these elections to change things. I said many years ago that I wanted to cause an earthquake in British politics. Well, now, what I'm fighting for, and with your support, what we will attempt to achieve is a democratic revolution in British politics, because that is what we need.
Hello all you hardcore boxing fans out there, how you doing? It's Big Porky here. Now, as you all know, I run this channel with my business partner Nicola, called Porky's Corner. It's about hardcore boxing. Now, what we're going to do once a week now, we're going to do something totally different for one day per week. It's just going to be something that is anything other than boxing. So right, so I hope you're going to like what we're going to pick today. So here goes. Can you imagine working for a company that only has a little more than 635 employees, but has the following employee statistics? 29 have been accused of spouse abuse, 7 have been arrested for fraud, 9 have been accused of writing bad cheques, 17 have been directly or indirectly bankrupted at least 2 businesses, 3 have done time for assault, 71 cannot get a credit card due to bad credit, 14 have been arrested on drug related charges, 8 have been arrested for shoplifting, 21 are currently defendants in lawsuits, 84 have been arrested for drink driving in the last year, and collectively this year alone have cost the British taxpayer £92,993,748 in expenses. which organisation is this? You have guessed it. It's the House of Commons. Now, all these statistics, they're all online. It's all out there, .gov.uk, just put it in House of Commons expenses. Now, this is only recently. Now, we all know what we all think about politicians, don't we? So I'm going to let you into a few statistics. I know a politician, and I don't know anything about her private life, but I do know this particular female politician. I'm not going to mention her name, but she told me in drink one evening that she has an expense card, and on this expense card she buys clothes. She buys clothes for her partner and members of her family at Christmas as presents and birthdays and Easter and family holidays, and that they give her money when she buys them these things. She had a study done in her home. I'm not going to say where it is because it will give it away. This particular MP, female that she is, she had her home sorted out by a builder. Now this builder put the invoice in, the House of Commons paid it. This is all coming from you, the taxpayer. Now this study ended up £40,000, the bill, which was the allowance. Now all the work was done with this. Now we all know what was wrong with these people, don't we? They just take and take and take and take. Now what we have in this country at the moment, we have, it's a gimme culture, gimme, 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 a sense of entitlement. Now these people for hundreds of years have been milking the system, and they're like blue bloods, and what happens is they milk the system and then their family milk it. For example, this female MP, she has a member of her family do it as her secretarial person in this office on £50,000 a year, which the government paid for. And the list just goes on and on and on and on. When they're thinking about work at home, they get paid for it, even in their sleep. Did you know that? Did you also know that these people, right, these people claim for second homes, and they get interest-free mortgages, they get put in hotels, and they eat £30 breakfast in the Savoy Hotel in London, because if you're in London and you're allowed to claim for a breakfast, what better breakfast to have than the Savoy Hotel? You wouldn't want to go to a Greasy Spoon, would you? The same MP on her expenses sheet here claimed 35p for a pencil sharpener. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Putting all your expense sheets in, right? But yet on the 23rd of December 2017 you decide to go shopping and buy a pencil sharpener, and you actually wait, you stand and wait for the receipt for your pencil sharpener while they rip it off the card that you pay for it on your card, you know, your credit card or bank card, whatever it's called, cash card. You actually stand in the queue and wait for the receipt for a 35 pence pencil sharpener. Bearing in mind, since when have anybody in the House of Commons ever used a pencil? Don't we all use pens now? I mean, aren't pencils for kids? You know, I remember when I was a kid, it was a big thing when you got to be about 9-year-old and they let you use a pen. Oh my God, they're letting us use a pen now. We are really grown up now. But these people just keep taking and taking and taking, don't they? These people pull up on a night out with family and friends. They go into a petrol station and they get everybody a sandwich and they put it on their expense sheet. This is what's wrong with this country at the moment. This is what's wrong. It's a sense of entitlement, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And it's now at a stage now where it's a joke, innit? What are these politicians doing now? It's just an utter joke. These people are just contradicting themselves all the time. I'm not going to say any names because these people have got that much power they can have us shut down, but we all know about scandals involving these people, don't we? Scandals that are totally disgusting and have been going on for years, and cover-ups on a gargantuan size. It's just going on and on and on and on, and how much more can we put up with? For example, this Brexit, the people voted for it, but these people, they're not happy with that, are they? They're trying to take it away from us. And how many years has it been now since the vote? It's just craziness. When's it all going to stop? Hey, they're letting all these people into the country, right? Nobody's stopping them, are they? Nobody's stopping them. If you say anything, you're a racist. We've got all these big tenders going out to big massive companies for work throughout the country on motorways and things like that, and motorway bridges. And I was speaking to a gentleman I know the other day, and one of his friends was involved in a bid for a couple of motorway bridges, and it went in the millions and millions and millions. And can you imagine what's really going on? But yet we've got all these expense sheets coming on with these people, but yet they're willing to stop disabled people's benefits from being £125 a week, and they're telling them that they've got to go get a job at £75 a week. They're saying that if you come for the interview, you can go for a job, you can go to work. You know what I mean? They think that a 40-minute interview means that you can work a 40-hour shift in a factory, but they're only seeing you for 40 minutes of that whole week, aren't they? They're not seeing you for every minute of that week, are you? There's a lot of people out there on medication and who are disabled, and they're getting hammered, aren't they? And I just think that something needs to be done about it. Now, my name's Russ. Everybody calls me Porky because my channel's Porky's Corner. And what I do, I give an opinion about boxing, because I'm very passionate about boxing, but I'm also passionate about the country that I live in now. I ain't got a problem with people coming over here from another country, but I think that at the moment we're bursting at the seams, aren't we? And I think a lot of these people need to be checked that are coming over, because it's a mess, isn't it? The country's in a mess. Now, like I said to you earlier in this video, if you say anything, you're a racist or a hater. Nobody's racist or a hater. You know, we're British, aren't we? And we just want what's best for our people and our kids, don't we? I walked down my area where I live yesterday, and I don't see anybody with a football out at night playing football under the street lights. Everybody's got the children in houses, aren't they? On an iPad. All our children are just getting fat, aren't they? Fat as pigs. Like little pigs. Now, kids are getting weighty, aren't they? To put too much weight on, because they're not exercising. When I was a kid, we played marbles, or we went conquering, or we went golf balling, or played cricket, football, and you're out all day, aren't you? If somebody had a football, you were just out all day. Nowadays, what have we got? We've got kids, haven't we, in house, not doing anything. We can't go out there because the country's overrun with paedophiles. We're overrun with them, aren't we? And when was the last time anybody saw a copper walk by their house on beat? Do you know, I go down motorway nowadays, and you used to see a copper pulled in up under a bridge up motorway. You don't see it now, do you? We've got cameras everywhere, haven't they? That were in the days when you could pit your wits against the copper, wasn't it? Nowadays they just stick cameras up all over, don't they? Are we being watched? Is it true that we've got cameras fixed into us televisions like what I see on the internet? I don't know about that. I know I've been watching that Edward Snowden thing, and some of the things he said's going on is shocking. Now, I don't want to go too deep into things like that. I'm bothered about Britain, I'm bothered about where I'm from. Now, you see, it's all too easy for us to say send them back, innit? Right? You class as a racist then, but you know, in Australia, when they come over on the boats and that, and they get into Australia, do you know what they do? Well, they fly into Australia with dodgy ID. Do you know what the Australians do? They send them back. Nobody mentions the word racism, do they? Nobody mentions it. They just send them back and that's it. That is it. What we do here, we house them, don't we? We put them up, don't we? For 4 months in quarantine. They plead asylum. Then we give them a council house. But yet people have been waiting years for a council house in England that are British. Now, is that racist? Am I racist for saying that? How dare I say that? Hey, how dare I? How dare I say that the NHS is broken down, hasn't it? It's broken down. Now, I was on a waiting list a few years ago for an operation, and I met the criteria, but they didn't have the funding, so I ended up paying privately. It cost me £7,000. Now, I'm in good health now, so I'm alright, but not everybody can afford to do that, can they? Now, the country is in a mess, but everybody keeps putting their head in the sand. Is the Prime Minister doing a good job? Now, I don't know this Prime Minister, so I can't comment. I don't know anything about politics, but what I do know is that the country's on its knees at the moment, isn't it? We look at the petrol prices, they're creeping up to 140. Now, when we had the last election, they said they were going to get them down to about £1, and it was a promise, £1 a litre. Well, it's 140 a litre on motorway. 142.9 I've seen today in Skello on A1, South Yorkshire. 142.9. Now, what's going on? Is anybody going to get behind this? I don't know, but something needs to be done about it. Now, the benefits system's a joke, innit? They've got this ATOS company just having a go at people. You know, and what's happening with this Grenfell Tower investigation? You know, all them people that lost their lives because government are cutting corners. What about all these tower blocks in country? What about in London, all these gangs, moped gangs, and people running around with knives and that? What is happening with that? Is anybody going to do anything about that? Is government going to put money into boxing? I'm into boxing, me. Boxing saves lives. I want to see government put money into boxing gyms, give kids some disciplines, get them off streets, get them fit, give them discipline. Is that what we're going to do? Leave kids on street corners getting in trouble with police, so that the only people that are going to make any money are the lawyers who will get the paid legal aid money, big fat checks for legal aid, or the private prison systems who want to lock us all up, because that's what we've got, haven't we? We've got private prisons locking us all up, haven't we? That's what's happening. Privatisation, it works better, doesn't it? The rich people who have got friends in high places who own all these private prisons, let's give them the tenders for all these people. The next generation is not the next generation, it's the forgotten generation, isn't it? The 16 to 24-year-olds now, they're forgotten, aren't they? They've not got jobs, have they? You've got 16, 18-year-old kids. They've not got jobs. You know, it is craziness. It's actual craziness. What's going on? Why isn't anybody doing anything about it? Is anybody listening? Eh? Is anybody there? Is anybody there? Nobody's there, are they? Nobody is there. Nobody's listening. Nobody's interested, are they? Nobody's interested one iota. Now these MPs, they're on £250,000 a year, these MPs, but they're also on £250,000 a year in expenses. They're costing us £10,000 a week, these MPs. Hasn't any of these MPs ever heard about taking a packed lunch to work? Normal people in normal jobs, they take a packed lunch to work, don't they? Power breakfasts in the Savoy Hotel. All these MPs sit there eating £40 power breakfasts. What is that? Let's have a power breakfast and I'll have a chat about what we did the night before, sat in our studies that we billed the taxpayer £40,000 for. Is that where this country's heading? Is that where we're heading? Great Britain. It's not so great, is it? It's not so great at all, is it? Now I don't mean to be touching on a touchy subject here, but I don't want a Muslim raped and had bad things done to him by them grooming gangs in Rotherham. What's happening about that? Has anybody gone to prison for that yet from the people, the powers that be? Why were all that hushed up? What is all that about? What's going on with that? I don't know. Why do we never get to the bottom of anything? Why is this Grenfell Tower thing dragging on? What sort of government are they? This Hillsborough disaster. You know, that's 30 years ago now, isn't it? Is it this week or next week? It's this month, isn't it? 30 years. 30 years since Hillsborough. Nobody's been to prison yet, have they? 30 years of pain. Nobody's had a trial yet, have they? For it. Nobody's been brought to justice in 30 years. 30 years. That's crazy, isn't it? That is crazy. Reggie Cray went to prison for 30-year life sentence. He served 32 years and he got out for 2 weeks for killing one person. 96 people died at Hillsborough. 30 years gone by this month. Nobody's even been found guilty yet. But 96 people died. Men, women and children. Brothers, sisters, husbands, cousins, grandmas, granddads. Little boys, little girls, kids at school. 96 people died. Nobody's been brought to justice. Now, all the powers that be they've all gone now. We were making them decisions 30 years ago. Is it going to take another 30 before anything's done about it? Because it'll be too late then, won't it? Why? What sort of government is this? What sort of government are we involved with here? I can't work it out, and nobody's making a stand against it. Now, once a week, I'm going to go off the topic of boxing and I'm going to talk about probably controversial things, but most things for me is controversial because I'm quite an angry person about a lot of things about what's going on in this country, because I'm born in Britain and I'm a British kid, aren't I? I grew up in 1970, 70s, where people didn't lock the doors and everybody drove them in, or a Cortina or a Capri, things like that. And I know things change, don't they? But it was fish and chips then, the meal. That were our national dish, fish and chips. The national dish now, according to the internet, it's curry and rice, and I like curry and rice, but that's how things have changed. I'm 48 years of age, me, now. Things have changed. Things have changed a lot, and I don't think it's for the worse. I don't think it's for the better, so I think it's for the worse, sadly to say. But I just want what's best for this country. I think the politicians that are in at the moment, I think the people have given up on them. I've given up on them. I mean, when I don't even vote myself because I don't believe any of them. They'll say anything to stay in power, won't they? When you're getting thousands of pounds a week for doing nothing, walking about, asking a few questions in Parliament, massive expense sheets. When you're getting money like that, you're just gonna do what you want. You're gonna say anything to get the vote, aren't you? So anyway, peace out. Keep on trucking. But I want everybody to keep supporting boxing. But main thing is support your country. But these politicians, I want them out. I want them out. I want all these millionaire people, billionaires, I want them to pay private investigators. I want them to dig dirt on these people. Dig dirt on them. And let's have them out of them. Let's have a new load of people in House of Commons, and let's have fresh ideas. But the country is going downhill, so I'm sad to say, and it's a shame, innit? But anyway, this is going to be the first video of the I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but it's just going to be an off boxing topic. The channel's still going to do boxing, but once a week we're just going to do something different. So it's what the people want who are following me. There's about 1,500 people follow me. It's not a lot, so feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel and follow us, because we're going to do a video a week. That's 52 videos a year about things that maybe people don't want to speak about or don't want to give an opinion on, or I'm going to give a different opinion to everybody else on it. So all the best, and thank you for listening.